Years after defeating Hades' Kraken, Perseus, the demigod, son of Zeus, now lives as a fisherman with his young son, Helios, after the death of his wife, Io. Zeus visits Perseus and asks for his help, saying that humans already not praying to the gods. As a result, the gods are losing their power and becoming mortal, meaning they can no longer sustain the walls of Tartarus which are holding back the imprisoned titan Kronos from freedom. Perseus, valuing his family's safety, refuses to get involved. Zeus, Ares, son of Zeus, and Poseidon, going to Tartarus to meet his brother, Hades. Zeus asks Hades help in rebuilding Tartarus walls, but Hades rejects the offer and started to attack Zeus. Ares too, having decided to betray and attacks his father, because Ares was envy, Zeus cared more about Perseus than him. Poseidon is fatally injured in the ensuing fight. Hades and Ares then imprison Zeus, stealing his thunderbolt. They plan to make a deal with Kronos. In exchange for remaining immortal, they will drain Zeus' divine power to revive Kronos. The walls of Tartarus break, unleashing monsters onto the world. Because the walls of Tartarus started to broken, two-headed Chimera, one of the titans, comes to destroy the village. Perseus fought to kill the monster, because the monster was chasing his son, Helios. After killing a two-headed chimera that attacked his village, Perseus travels to Zeus' temple to meet his father. In the temple, he instead finds a dying Poseidon who informs him of the situation and tells him to find his demigod son, Agenor, who will lead him to Hephaestus, who knows the way into Tartarus. Poseidon then gives Perseus his trident, succumbs to his injuries, and dies. Perseus went to Argos to meet Andromeda, who was also fighting against a monster that had escaped from Tartarus. There, he met Agenor. Agenor initially refused to help, but Perseus managed to convince him and they set off to look for Hephaestus on a hidden island. Agenor explains that Hephaestus created three weapons which Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon wield: Zeus' thunderbolt, Hades' pitchfork, and Poseidon trident, which can jointly form the Spear of Triumph, the only weapon that can defeat Kronos. After an encounter with 330 feet Cyclo, they eventually meet the now mortal Hephaestus. At first, Hephaestus refused to help, because he was now also immortal. But he changed his mind when he saw Andromeda, who reminded him of his ex-wife, Aphrodite, gods of beauty, who went an affair with Ares, the god of war. Then they go and reach the entrance of a labyrinth leading to Tartarus. Ares come to them because one of them are prey for Ares. Then, Hephaestus sacrifices himself during an attack by Ares to enable Perseus, Andromeda, and Agenor to enter the labyrinth. Once inside the labyrinth they encounter the Minotaur, monster who protect the labyrinth from strangers, that attacks them, but Perseus manages to kill it. The group eventually enters Tartarus. Meanwhile, Zeus has been almost entirely drained of power as Kronos awakens. Zeus apologizes to Hades for banishing him to the underworld and asks his forgiveness, as he has forgiven Hades for his actions. Hades decides to help Zeus and stop Kronos, in contrast to Ares, who still wants to proceed to the former's revival. Perseus arrives and frees Zeus. Ares wounds Zeus with Hades' pitchfork, allowing Perseus to obtain it before he and the others escape Tartarus with Zeus. Aiming to retrieve Zeus' thunderbolt from Ares, in order to defeat Kronos, Perseus challenges him to a duel. Meanwhile, Andromeda army is overwhelmed by the Machi, the army of Kronos. Hades revives Zeus and together they defeat the creatures. Kronos appears and begins to attack Andromeda army. Zeus and Hades hold off Kronos while Perseus duels Ares, eventually killing him with the thunderbolt. Combining the gods' weapons into the Spear of Triumph, Perseus comes with Pegasus to destroy Kronos by flying into his heart and throwing the spear into it. Once again, the world saved by Perseus. Zeus reconciles with Perseus and then dies of his wounds. Hades leaves, telling Perseus that he is now powerless. After the war, Perseus kisses Andromeda and wants to marry her. Helios tells his father that he wants to return to his life as a fisherman, but Perseus tells him they cannot back to their previous life. Perseus encourages Helios to be proud of himself, as he is the son of Perseus and the grandson of Zeus. In the ends with Perseus giving his sword to Helios to continue save the world. What do you think? Have you watched it? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next film.